Hi there, Smart Driver, talking to you today about passing your driver's test. If you're taking your driver's test this summer, we have skills, abilities, and strategies that you can put in place to pass your driver's test first time. So we're talking about road test strategies to keep yourself safe and to pass your driver's test, because the safe part comes before passing your driver's test. And remember, it's not perfection that you're looking for. You're looking for a pass on your driver's test, owing to the fact that you can work on perfection for the rest of your driving career, right? That's what you want to do. Videos to definitely have a look at. Chance events that could happen on your driver's test. Have a look at that one. Top 10 automatic fails on a driver's test and most common mistakes on a driver's test. These three videos will give you most of the information you need to be successful on passing your driver's test first time. The fundamentals. You need to have in place the fundamentals of driving in order to be successful on passing your driver's test. Social driving. You cannot drive the way that other people do and pass your driver's test first time. I guarantee you that, okay? And social driving is the way that people drive after they get the driver's license. They speed, they follow too close, they don't come to a complete stop at stop sign intersections, they use their cell phones, they drink, they eat, all those things that people do that you cannot do on a driver's test. Speed management, space management, observation and communication, and space management. 2 to 3 second following distance for the entire driver's test. You cannot drive faster than the posted speed limit, so therefore you're going to be the slowest vehicle on the roadway, and you need to drive in the right lane, okay? Stopping back in traffic 1 vehicle length so you can see the tires in front making clear contact with the pavement, okay? Shoulder checking, shoulder checking, shoulder checking. The number one mistake on a driver's test is not shoulder checking. You must shoulder check minimum 2 times for turns, minimum 2 times for changing lanes, anytime that you change direction of the vehicle. Forward scanning pattern, far down the road, in instrument panel, far down the road, center mirror, far down the road, left mirror, far down the road, right mirror. You need to have that forward scanning pattern in place when you're looking. And the reason that we talk about shoulder checking is because shoulder checking ties into ABS. Always be scanning. Communication. 5 ways that you communicate with other traffic on the roadway. Most important, the position of your vehicle. If there is a vehicle in the right-hand lane, there's a high probability that that vehicle is going to turn right. If there is another road user, like a pedestrian that's coming towards a crosswalk, there's a high probability that that pedestrian is going to step out on the roadway. If somebody's got their nose stuck, the nose of their vehicle stuck out into an intersection, there's a high probability that that person is going to turn left, or they can't see. So you have to be careful of what that person is doing and whether they're going to pull out in front of you or not. So these are the fundamentals of driving. Social driving. Do not participate. Use the 4 tools to keep yourself safe and to pass your driver's test. You must have these fundamental skills in place to be successful on your driver's test. Road signs convey information in 3 ways: the shape of the sign, the colors, and the text or symbols thereon. Learn your traffic signs so that you can be more predictable on the roadways. You know that you're approaching a yield sign. You know that you're approaching a stop sign. In concert with this, know and learn the road markings, that you cannot cross or change lanes near crosswalks. You can't change lanes in an intersection, and if you do that, most driving examiners are going to fail you if you change lanes in an intersection, but some might give you major demerit points, 20 or 30. Most driving tests for demerits, and sorry, I should explain this right at the beginning, but there's 2 ways to fail a driver's test. Fail it outright. For example, you don't come to a complete stop for an emergency vehicle right away. That's an automatic fail on a driver's test. The other way is accumulating demerit points. For every error that you make on your test, you are assigned demerit points. For minor errors, it's 5 points, maybe 10. For major errors, it's 10 to 20 points. Most driving tests, it's 35 points total. And then if you get more than that, you've failed your driver's test. So the 2 ways that you can potentially fail your driver's test. Most demerit out. They get too many demerits. They don't fail automatically, even though we have that video up there that you can have a look at. Speed signs, stop signs, merge signs, basic right-of-way rules, and cautionary signs. Know all the different classifications of signs so you can glean the information from the sign at a glance. Space management, stopping position at intersections before the stop line. And the way that you know that you're a couple 3 feet back from the stop line is as soon as it rolls out of your view in front of the vehicle, just bring the vehicle to a stop, and if you stop the vehicle and get out, you'll see that you're 2 or 3 feet back from that stop line. Before the crosswalk or stop sign, or sidewalk rather, and I know in the state of Washington and other states, they don't say sidewalk. However, if there's pedestrians there, you need to give way to them, okay? So I say that anyway, stop before the sidewalk. Crosswalk lines, if those two conditions don't exist, then at the edge of the road before entering the intersection. Following distance must be 2 to 3 seconds. Distance from pedestrians and other vulnerable road users is 3 feet minimum. And if you are going faster than 30 miles an hour, 50 kilometers an hour, then you need more space between your vehicle and any pedestrians or vulnerable road users on the roadway. Okay, speed control, the speed limit or the flow of traffic, whichever is less. So posted speed limit. And when I say the flow of traffic or whatever is less, say for example that you're in a 30 mile an hour speed zone and traffic is only moving at 20 miles an hour. Well, you can't go faster than 20 miles an hour, so that's less than the posted speed limit. So that's how fast you drive for the purposes of your driver's test. And when can you drive slower? If you're on a residential street and there's vehicles parked on both sides of the road and it's really narrow, then yes, you can go slower. You're going past a park and there's lots of kids and people and high volume pedestrian traffic, then yes, you can go slower because there are people there. So there are times, depending on the traffic situation, where you can go slower. All right. Master shoulder checks. This is the key to observation because shoulder checking ties into ABS. Always be scanning. Head on a swivel, as some people say when you're learning how to drive. Shoulder checks are simple 90 degrees, okay? 90-degree head turn. It's not in through the back window. It's just quick 90 degrees. You're looking for movement in the blind areas around your vehicle. Not shoulder checking is to driving what not checking to see if a weapon is loaded is to gun safety. Why on any planet would you pick up a rifle and not check to see if it was loaded before handling it? You wouldn't do that. So why would you be moving a 3,000 to 4,000 pound vehicle at speed, change directions of the vehicle, and not look into your blind areas to check and make sure that there aren't pedestrians or other road users there, okay? Just create the habit. And the reason we want to create the habit of shoulder checking is because when you get tired, you get distracted, something happens, you have that habit in place and you're going to do it regardless of whatever else is going on in your life. And I know that there are people come back to me over the years and have said, well, that's not situational awareness. You're not paying attention to what's going on in your driving environment. There are certain fundamental driving habits that you need to put in place that will keep you safe, not today, tomorrow, next month, next week, or next year, 5 years from now, maybe 10 years from now. It's going to save your proverbial bacon. And the example that I use for that, there's an alleyway behind my house. I back out into that alleyway just about every day, okay? 9 times out of 10, or 98 times out of 100, there's nobody in that alleyway that I have to give way to. 2 times out of 100, there's somebody in the alleyway that I need to give way to. So I need to create the habit where I'm not just throwing the old buggy into reverse and backing up into the alley because I could strike somebody. I need to create the habit that for those 2 times out of 100, I'm looking, I'm observing, and I see the pedestrians who are walking in the alley. Communication, position of the vehicle on the roadway, position of the road user. This is going to communicate intent. Lights and signals are going to communicate intention. Headlights, flashing your headlights, turn signals, brake lights, those types of things. The other way that traffic is slowing down beyond seeing brake lights in front of you is the spaces between the vehicles get smaller, indicating that traffic is in fact slowing down. Your horn. Use your horn sparingly in this day and age because it's seen as a sign of aggression. Eye contact and hand gestures. If you're not sure what somebody is doing on the roadway, get eye contact with them and then, communicate with your hands about what you want them to wait or whatnot. Okay? Your job on a driving test is to take away the driving examiner's right to fail you. Nothing less, nothing more. You have to demonstrate for the purposes of your driver's test that you have due care and control of the vehicle in changing traffic conditions. And when I say changing traffic conditions, the number one tip that I can give you to be successful in passing your driver's test is go down to the test center on the, if it's a weekday, go down on a weekday. If your test is at 10 o'clock in the morning, go down at 10 o'clock in the morning and practice driving in and around the test center to simulate the closest traffic conditions that you're going to get on test day when you actually take your test. Figure out where the schools are, figure out where churches are, malls, high pedestrian areas, those types of things in and around the test center where you're going to be taking your test. All of this will really help you out. And if you want absolute guarantee that you're going to pass your driver's test, if you're not taking driving lessons, take one driving lesson with a driving instructor. These people teach students how to pass a driver's test every day. In addition to that, they will take you on the road test route, and they will show you where the examiners like to do their slow speed maneuvers, because their 3-point turns, parallel parking, backing into a parking space are done almost in the same places all the time. Okay? If you are going to book a practice driving test with an instructor, do it 2 to 3 weeks out from your driver's test, because right now they're incredibly busy and it's going to take you 3 weeks to get an appointment with a driving instructor. The thing about failing your driver's test is going to take a lot of time for you to rebuild confidence. It's money well invested. The return on investment is really high when taking a lesson with a driving instructor. Okay? So, local driving instructors, they help students pass driver's tests every day. Good luck on your driver's test, and remember, pick the best answer. Not necessarily the right answer. Epic, my friend, regarding the road test, pay attention to road signs, shapes, background, since some places, instead of US and Canada, Canadian speed limits are maximum miles per hour, kilometers per hour. You can see miles per hour in the UK and kilometers in Australia. Yes, in the red circle, and they have a different standard of traffic signs in Europe and Australia and other places in the world. But they are intuitive. They're fairly straightforward in gleaning the information from those signs, for example. Elevator fan, if the driving examiner intervenes, you will fail your driver's test. And elevator fan is exactly right. If you say, for example, you're making a left-hand turn, you misjudge the gap, and the driving examiner says to you, okay, don't go, or grabs hold of the steering wheel, preventing you from making the left-hand turn, unfortunately, that is an automatic fail on a driver's test, because it's an issue of safety when the driving examiner intervenes. And I had a driving test some years ago, and this wasn't with the car, but with the big truck, and the driver had to parallel park at the test center at the end of the test, and the driver was parallel parking, and they were backing in and they were going to strike the wall. And of course I go running across the parking lot, stop, stop, stop. And the driving examiner got out of the truck, walked into the office, didn't even talk to me, and I'm like, what's going on? And then finally I had to go in and kind of track her down, and I said, what's going on? She's like, you intervened. Test was over the second you intervened, and unfortunately the student failed. But I did prevent the student from backing the truck into the wall, which, was not ideal. Probably less ideal than the student not being successful in their driver's test. Marion, I don't think every driving instructor is the same, though. I have seen some driving instructors do some wacky things too. Marion, yeah, they're not all cut from the same cloth, and I am the first that begrudgingly says that truck driving instructors, bus instructors, any instructors of commercial driving instructors are the epitome of the saying, those that can't teach, which is really unfortunate. And we're trying every day to help people to be better. Always be teaching is my new motto in life, because there's a lot of people out there that need help, and that it's about empowerment and helping people. Epic. If you took a lesson with a driving school, they can also schedule the road test for you. My younger brother did it back in October 2024 on a test location that the driving school he used is known for. Yes, and that is an excellent point that Epic just brought up. If you're having difficulty getting a driving test date, it could be worth your time and money to go to a driving school and pay them to take a driving lesson, because usually they will not let you use their car for just the road test. They usually require you to take a driving lesson with them before they will let you take their car down for a road test. The reason that you should go with a road test with a driving school is that the test center, the DOT, the Bureau of Motor Vehicles, BMV, whoever it is who is doing the testing, gives driving schools a block of time. So for example, they know that ABC Driving School has 4 driving tests every Thursday between 9 and noon. So they get 4 slots every Thursday for ABC Driving School. So you can go to a driving school and you know that on Thursday you're going to get a driving test because they have a slot available. That's one way that you can do it. The other way that you can do it is make sure that the DOT, the test center, puts you on a cancellation list, because if these schools cannot fill these slots, then they will give them up, and the test center will then put those out on cancellations, and you can get in on a cancellation. The problem with that, or the challenge that you're going to face with that, is that you're going to have to be ready within a few hours of notice that you're going to go in and do a driver's test. I mean, that's the only downfall of that happening. All right. Yeah. So that's another way, is you can book it through a driving school to get in faster to take your driving test. Paul, space management is especially important anytime severe weather conditions like thunderstorms like the Mississauga that was experiencing since 5 a.m. this morning. Oh, Paul, I miss thunderstorms in southwestern Ontario. There's nothing like them. It's just the best when the thunder cracks and the whole sky just opens up and your house shakes. I miss that. I'm hoping that when I go home this summer that I'm going to be able to experience that. Really looking forward to it. Supernova, this is also a favorite quote by someone I grew up watching in the Jurassic Park movies. Sometimes you just have to pull yourself together. Yes, you do. And thank you for that, Supernova. The other piece of advice that I'm going to give you about a driver's test is, if you make a mistake, do not perseverate on it. In other words, don't get stuck on the mistake. You made a mistake, take a breath. Okay, I made a mistake, and carry on. Exactly what Supernova just said. Sometimes you got to pull yourself together. Focus on what you're doing, because the driving examiner may not have even seen the mistake you thought you just made. So do not focus on that mistake. Carry on, take a breath, get it together, pull yourself together, and continue on, okay? Need to watch videos on parallel parking. Supernova, we have those for you as well. Videos on parallel parking that will definitely help you out, my friend. Driving schools cost a lot of money nowadays. It's crazy, yeah. Chibuni, what are they charging you for 10 lesson package at a driving school? I bet you it's more than $1,000. It's probably closer to $1,500, I'm guessing. But yeah, everything, unfortunately, is expensive. Truly expensive. You know, I went to Dallas last week, and, you know, it was almost $3,000 to go to Dallas for 48 hours. Stuff is really expensive, and I do apologize about that for everybody who's struggling and not, you know, things aren't working out for them. So yeah. All right, leave it there. Good luck on your driver's test. If you have any questions about passing your driver's test, skills and abilities, particular videos, we've got them here on the channel. Leave a comment down in the comment section there. Always happy to help you out. I try and get in and check the comments every day and answer people's queries, and you know, pass your driver's test, become a safer, smarter driver, or start a career as a truck or bus driver. And remember, pick the best answer, not necessarily the right answer. Have a great night. Bye now.